One of my rules of communication, I have written, adapted, plagiarized 50 rules of communication that I truly believe that you need to live by. There are rules of communication. There are rules for everything in this country. There's rules for how fast you can go. There are rules for, in the NFL, there are rules for how you can spy on another NFL team. They don't say you can't spy, you just have to follow the rules. So why would we think there are not rules of communication? So then people say, well, gee, I didn't know there were rules, as if that gets them off the hook. But let me ask you, if you say to the nice police officer, I didn't know it was a 35-mile zone, does that get you out of a ticket? Well, it doesn't get me out of a ticket. So not knowing the rules does not get you a pass. So one of the rules of communication is that the audience decides when you're effective, not the speaker. And this is as true of a CEO or the President of the United States. You don't say, I'm effective, I communicated it, and then you're done. You're done when your audience says you're done. So how do you improve communication? The first way, and truly the only way, is to buy into understanding you have to ask your audience. You need what I call observable, measurable evidence from your audience that you have communicated effectively. You can't just say, well, I told them once. I told them in a staff meeting. That is a recipe for a breakdown in communication. I put it in the newsletter, a breakdown in communication, because you are allowing one way of communication to be your only way. Think of it this way. A spider weaves a web. Do they weave just one thread and say, I'm done for the day? They weave a multitude of threads, and that becomes their web. That's what we need to do with communication. How many ways can you communicate that message? Can you do it verbally, one-on-one, in small group, in writing, in an email, in a poster, in a speech? How many ways can you communicate it? You know you were effective when your audience tells you that you were effective, not just by announcing to the world, I communicated.